I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible.
Okay, so late start today. First video, doesn't matter, no intro needed. What I'm going to try to be doing really for the next few days is I'm going to try to be rebuilding everything I do for my agency, Janus, from scratch. When I first started it, I sort of didn't really know what I was doing. I got lucky, I got a few clients here and there. Things went well, but nothing was systematized. I didn't really have a process, and I was just a headless chicken running around. I cannot afford to do that now, just because one, it was bad business anyways. Two, with med school, my time is really constrained, so I really gotta systematize these things. So, all the business processes are sort of dialed down and aren't wasting more time than they need to take. So one of the ways I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna start documenting everything I do. I'm gonna probably uncover lots of problems and inefficiencies in how I do things. And I'm hoping that, transparency, sunlight sheds all and fixes all and heals all. What I mean by that is that hopefully, I'll notice mistakes I'm making when I watch some of my own videos. And perhaps if anybody else somehow stumbles upon these videos, and you might watch what I'm doing, and you might point out some things where I'm sort of maybe dropping the ball as well, or just not really, being smart about what I'm doing. So that'd be cool. I welcome that. I would love that. I also am partially doing this because I've met lots of people lately who want to be doing similar things, and they sort of, I don't know how to sort of walk them through it because I never systematized it myself. I feel like I would need to sit down with them for like a whole day or maybe even 2-3 days to be able to sort of talk to them and explain everything to them. And a lot of it would end up me being referencing other things that I've read and consumed myself that have sort of taught me what I need to do. And it's not really an effective process to be able to like train or show anybody how to do anything. So that's an alternate purpose for really these videos that I'm going to be putting out now. Just documenting exactly how I do and what I do. So, it's like the classic show, don't tell. So that's a big part of it. So with regards to that, today's goal is going to be, I'm going to find 10 prospects. I'm going to find their emails. I'm going to find their names, hopefully. It always helps to have their name. And I am going to either email them or call them, whichever one's possible if I can find their phone number as well. I'm going to hopefully do 10 prospects every day. Today's the first day, hopefully. I don't know, I'm crossing my fingers. Like, I'm the one who decides whether or not I do it or not. And I'm currently deciding that I will be doing this. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do 10 prospects every day. That's a goal. The other thing I need to get done is I also have the USMLE Step 1 exam to be studying for med school. So that's actually the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to do my overdue Anki cards. I have like 550 overdue cards right now. So I got to do those. And then I got to do 150 new cards. So all in, I'm thinking it's probably going to take me like 4 hours. 2 hours for maybe 1 hour for the due cards and probably 2 to 3 hours for the new cards. Overestimating a little bit because I'd rather overestimate than underestimate. So that's the goal for the med school stuff. I'm going to do that first. I'm going to go to school to do that. I found the separation of environment helps me a lot. So I'll do that in school, and I'll come after that probably to a cafe or maybe just home, and I'll get the the business work done with the prospecting. That's what we're going to see today. Let's hope it goes well. Okay, one of the things folks do at UConn when we're in med school is we like to volunteer a lot at South Park Clinic or Hands on Hartford. This is my first shift at Hands on Hartford. I volunteered once at South Park before. I want to be able to do it more often. I sort of forgot about that, so I'm including that in my day today as well. I got to do that. I got to get that done as well. We're going to be handing out some food to some homeless people and sort of just helping out the community a little bit. The idea really is to be sort of a positive influence as in the community, even while you're medical students, not really just waiting until you're a doctor. There's only so much we can do while we're students at getting to know our community, and really the most sort of underprivileged parts of the community is sort of an important part of understanding health and community health. So I'll do this until 3 p.m. and then we'll touch base later. Okay, just finished up. It's been like 2 minutes just out of my car right now. That was some real stuff. That was some real stuff. I wanted to immediately get back and sort of record my thoughts on it. Really just because I don't want to let my thoughts simmer later. I want to be able to capture them. I want to be able to capture it immediately, right after. I've volunteered with the homeless folks before, helping homeless folks. I've done this stuff before. I've done sort of rehabilitation training, handing out meals, things like that. What I've never done before is sort of just meet them where they are. And I've never really realized that until today. I realized that in every other sort of situation, we've always had homeless folks come to wherever the organization. This was the first time I volunteered, and what we were doing is we were going to their tents, to their encampments. We were just hanging out with them for a little bit, just talking, just chatting. It just makes you think about it. Like I have the privilege, I have this opportunity to be able to sit here and plan what I'm going to do for the week, plan what I'm going to do sort of, next month. Heck, I have 5-year, 10-year plans. And then, you meet these folks and, they're making do. They're living day to day. They're not living a good life. They're not living a great life. But I was just really surprised to see how even, the homeless folks will be taking care of each other to a degree. James is a really real person, so he was telling me a lot about how, stealing is just part of the game. It's just part of the entire process. You just expect it. It's going to happen. But you sort of find your group, and it's almost like prison in a sense. You find your group and just, you learn sorry, I just noted there's bird shit out my window. Oops. Damn, it's kind of annoying though, but whatever. I don't know, yeah, it was a real experience. That was real life. People are living through that. People are struggling through that. And I consider myself a proud capitalist. I do. But I have to recognize, and I do recognize that, a lot of the problems that these folks are suffering from are the result of people who have been left behind. That's really what it is. They've been left behind. Folks that, benefit from a capitalist system are able to sort of utilize all the advantages that a capitalist economy allows you to garner. But a lot of folks are not born into environments and situations where that's, on a probabilistic, deterministic sense, not very likely that they'll be able to utilize those resources. I've made the argument myself that those resources are there. You have public libraries, you have these things, but it's just a very low likelihood, But that being said, even today, I met some folks. Some folks were like, I've been thinking about it. I'm gonna get my ID. I'm gonna get this job. I'm gonna get a car, because living in a car is still an upgrade from living out in the parks. I'm gonna save up from there, and then we'll see what I can do. You hear some of these people, and you hear that sort of agency in them, and it's great. But then you meet some of the other people, and they're just not there yet. And that's nothing against them. They're just not there yet. It's almost like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, in a sense, right? Where they need to meet their base requirements or rid themselves of their base problems to be able to then ideate and plan and look for these other opportunities. That's all. Just some quick thoughts afterwards, but a lot to do today still. It's ironical to be faced with these problems and now be saying that, okay, now what I need to do in my day is go do some digital flashcards, do some Anki, and same thing as yesterday, do some prospecting. 10 leads, 10 prospects. That's what I'm gonna do though. This is my life. This is sort of what it's like to be in med school and be doing the same things that I'm doing at the same time as well. You see a contrast and you reflect on it, and you do what you can in the day-to-day.